just having different master classes. I love to teach, and specifically, I love to teach on topics and subjects that most people don't know about, but need to know about, especially when it comes to success, thriving, being everything that we were meant to be, like what God intended and ordained for us. For those of you guys who will see this later, I had a lot of technical difficulties getting this thing going. And just to be transparent and honest, I feel like a lot of my life has been like that. Like anytime I make plans or I'm trying to do something, I'm trying to move forward, I'm trying to move ahead, even if it was given to me by unction of God to do, it's like interference. And the way I used to be, it was very disheartening. And it just turned like, it just really knocked me out. Like that's the best way I can just say it. And it just made me feel like, well, maybe I should just stick to what I know. Let me stick to what's easy, because I don't like feeling like, oh, this thing is about to be big, or this great thing is about to happen, and then it doesn't happen. And then I'm like, okay, did I hear God right? Or is it just me? Or like, what's really going on? And I would start projects and I couldn't finish the projects, or interference would come up, or I needed some money, and the money would come, and then something else would come up and take the money. And then it was like, well, God, what is really going on? But I didn't know what I didn't know. And I'm going to show you guys tonight, just through this, how I was really able to turn things around. And I feel like still turning things around, and how I was able to deal with things a lot better now than before. Because I can tell you right now, if it was the me from before, oh honey, we would have shut this down. I would have went to the bed, I would have cried, and I would have figured it out the next day. I ain't gonna lie to you, I just would have been boo-hooing, like calling my mama, calling whoever would pick up the phone. I was trying to do it, like the whole nine. Okay. Now I'm probably after this, when it hits me, I'm gonna be like, because I have to express it, I have to get it out. But I'm not gonna let that emotion override what I've set my hand to do. And that is literally the key. So for those of you who are here, welcome. This is your round of applause. Hold on. I got a good applause for you. Kudos to you. Round of applause for being here. You know, I got all the gimmicks and the shenanigans, so don't look at me like that. I got all the extra over here, okay? And we loves it. So how did we get here? And how did I get to this place? I'm a rule follower. I'm the oldest of 5. I am the daughter of immigrant parents. They came to America from Nigeria back in the late 70s. And, I took on the position of being a help to them and not a burden to them. So when they said, go to school, get good grades, graduate, get a job, and you'll be good, that's what I did. But it wasn't working, because even though I had these great qualifications, I was getting paid $9 an hour. And that was actually a level up from the $8 that I came in as a temporary position. So then I got leveled up into $9 an hour. And so I was, even with the degree, so I was underpaid and I was overworked. When I did finally move into a different position, I was getting paid $36,000 a year. And that was a big to-do. But it wasn't what I saw on my shows like Girlfriends, Sex in the City, living single. I was trying to be like the girls. Like, what is this? They didn't say anything about this in those shows. But I was disillusioned with the system. I really was. I was just like, this is for the birds. I'm not interested. If I'm gonna live a high life, I need high life type money. Okay. So I felt really jaded. I felt less than. I felt like if I'm sitting here doing all the right things and it's not producing for me, then something must be wrong with me. I never thought something was wrong with the system. I internalized it, and I was like, something must be wrong with me. And that just kind of shows you where my mindset was at the time too. So that's when I discovered the world of coaching. Honey, coaching. Oh, because I joined my first network marketing company, and it was like, I didn't know what I didn't know. I really didn't.
Wow.
Oh my God. Like, oh, am I thinking, oh, am I negative? Like, I was just on a self-analyzing journey. So from the personal development, the NLP, all the books, EQ versus IQ, neuroplasticity, mindset. If you follow me on social media, you already know what I'm talking about, because this is the type of stuff I post all about all the time. But when I learned it, I started to really give myself the opportunity to grow. I started giving myself the opportunity to become who I knew and I sensed God wanted me to be. And so from there, $9 an hour, we progressed on to from $9 an hour to our company, Vonza, being evaluated for a $30 million company. And that's a big deal because we're in the tech space. And that was less than 3 years. You don't see a lot of brown skin folk in tech, y'all. I'm telling you. And if you do, they're developers, and they're doing the stuff behind the scenes. But to actually own a company and be a couple, well, yeah, I'll just say immigrant couple, that's a big deal. So that's allowed us, but even before we got there, we've had the university. I recently got to grace the TEDx stage. We just been living the life. Our kids, they're just so cute and blessed. I'm looking at them like, y'all are so cute. I can't believe I have children. Like, look at this. But I can honestly say that Psalms, when the Bible says that God is within her, she will not fail. He will help her at daybreak. That has been my scripture. But even with that scripture, I had to learn the things that I am showing you today. And this is what the missing link was back then. And Forbes recorded it like this. They said people with the average IQs outperform with the average, actually, it's not IQ, it's EQs. I can tell you right now it's EQ. Let me correct that. The average EQ outperform those with the highest IQ 70% of the time, right? And I think I posted this on Facebook recently, so you know that I had just typed something or messed something up there. But it's EQ. So you can have an average EQ and you will outperform somebody who has a high IQ. And for the longest time, we were taught that it's all about the IQ, how intelligent you are, how you process things. Can you read? Well, I mean, of course you want to read, you want to be able to spell, but it was always about your intelligence, right? Like, how smart are you? How smart are you? It's the smartest people at the top. It's the smartest people at the top. Wrong. It's the people with the EQ, emotional intelligence. And the definition of emotional intelligence is the capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. So in other words, if you can manage yourself, you can manage others. If you can regulate yourself and lead yourself, you can regulate and lead others. And not in a controlling way, but more so in a way that, okay, are you guys seeing the presentation? Let me know in the chat if you're seeing everything. It's good? Okay. Okay, I see y'all. Okay, good deal. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. So we find out that the EQ is not, or the IQ is not what equals success. It's EQ. It's EQ. And EQ is comprised of our emotions. Let me take it a step further. When the focus is only on IQ, we have problems, because only so many people are born with this astronomical thought process and the way their brain works, and they're just a genius. It's only so many Einsteins. But if you have a high EQ, you literally can outperform, outsurpass. If we think of the likes of Henry Ford always said he's not the smartest person in the room, but he knows how to work with people. He knows how to put himself in other people's shoes. Okay, well, how can I help you so I can help myself and we both get help and we both win? Whenever you see a leader who keeps talking about, how can I help you win? How can I help you succeed? What is it that you need from me? What do I need to give to you so that you can win? Because if you win, then I win. And if we both win, and then now we can show other people that it's a beautiful domino effect, right? You and I know y'all seen that. It's a beautiful domino effect.
It is.
With IQ, either you got it or you don't.
Or you
but
don't.
With EQ, you can develop your EQ. You can develop your EQ. And IQ, unfortunately, only allows you to be a worker bee. So they want that brain in the business.
Come on.
Just work. We need that brain. They just want to extract that brain from you. But EQ, a lot of times, isn't quantified by tangible stuff. It's usually quantified by relationships, networking, how you get along with people, how you connect with people, how you connect with yourself. As authentic as you are with yourself is how you are with other people. And I just made a little chart over here. Fact number 1, IQ, which is intelligence, it can't be earned. Own it, but you can't. It is what it is. EQ, you can develop it. Fact number 2 of intelligence, it's very revered and discussed. People love an intelligent person. They love a brainiac. They love a genius. And guess what? We do too. But not everybody is a genius. But everybody can build up their emotional IQ, even though it's not reverenced very much and it's not discussed very much either. But it's very important. And then fact number 3 on intelligence is it doesn't determine one's success. But EQ absolutely determines your success. Because if you realize that, and I tell this to my clients a lot of times, it's not the systems, it's not the technology, it's not, this course or that course, it's what's happening within you. How you talk to yourself. What's the conversations you having with yourself? When you receive external stimuli, how do you respond to it? Does it knock you out and knock you down? Or do you face it and you confront it? How do you deal with things when they come to you? That is a big part of success. Emotionally, relationally, business-wise, all of the things. So let me ask y'all this. Y'all let me know. If you've ever learned about EQ, tell me what level you're on. Level 1, if you ever heard about this. Level 1 is you haven't really learned much or anything about EQ. And just let me know in the chat where you're at, 1, 2, or 3. You've never really heard about it. You haven't learned much. You don't know much about it. Level 2 is a little bit, maybe through social media, like my page, friends, conversations. Then level 3 is very skilled in EQ. So you got the books, you've gone to seminars, you've done trainings, like you in that thing, all about it. Okay, we got a 1. Okay, yeah, that's true. That's usually how it goes. We got a 2. Okay. So we're pretty much at the 1, 2-ish level. And that's okay, because in school, you could, but it's just, people aren't going to put that much effort into creating tests to reflect your EQ. They want to know what you can retain, what you can memorize, what you can calculate, that's their focus. But that's not our focus. Our focus is the EQ. This is the stuff that we can constantly develop and grow and stretch. This is the stuff that makes the biggest difference. And this is something, like I said, I deal with a lot of my clients, and this is my one of my clients, and her name is Queen. And when I met her, she was, in school. She was going to school and doing so much. Okay. She was doing so much that she couldn't really see. People need to be on the webinar, and they over here calling me. Stop calling me. You need to be on the webinar. When I met her, we were working together because she was working so much at her job and school and mom, and it was just a lot going on in her life. And so one of the things that she was saying was that, she was stressed out. She was stressed, but she knew she wanted to get some things done. She wanted to accomplish some things in her life. So we went from a financial situation being dire, working mom in school, just leveraging what's the thing called, the financial aid, honey? Because if you don't know nothing about leveraging that financial aid, I don't know what to tell you. We work that thing, okay? If you know, you know. But she went from relying on financial aid to being her own financial aid. She got certified as a counselor. She started working her certification and helping other people, especially in the Word, because she's a Christian counselor. She started her own graphics and book design business. So she literally designs journals and books and prayer books and devotionals and all this stuff for people. And then she doesn't put her name on it, but she gets paid from it. So she's kind of like a ghost writer, designer type person. She graduated from school, and of course she has her beautiful kids. But this is just the type of stuff that, and one of the things that we had to do was really work through the mental aspect of where she was to where she was going, where she was to what she wanted to achieve. And then she started achieving even more things because she began to realize how she was talking to herself and the conversation she was having wasn't productive. But we'll get into that a little bit further on. Okay, now, if you would, you could take a screenshot of this, or after the webinar, you'll have access to the membership, and the slides will be in there so you could take a look at this. But this is the chart that I go off of, and I teach a lot of times, specifically with my clients who are looking to achieve their goals and get results. Guys, this is literally the process that happens within us. And I'm going to show you how it ties into EQ, but you got to get this part first. I always say T, which is our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions. And you can see it right here. Our thoughts, our emotions, our actions. Those consistent things is what produces our results. So if you don't have the results in your life that you desire, then you got to look at the actions that you've been taking. If you look at your actions, you can reverse engineer it and take a look at the emotions. What emotions you've been feeling, what's happening within you. Then keep going back, and you'll see that the thoughts that you have are what even facilitated the emotions to begin with. And every thought that we have is rooted in our values and our beliefs. I had to slow it down a little bit because it gets a little intricate, right? When you understand that everything starts with a thought, it's invisible. That's why a lot of people haven't mastered it. It's not taught in schools. A lot of people don't recognize or realize this, but this is what their life is based off of, is this chart right here. Our values and our belief systems are things that we learned from the womb to 7 years old. These are the experiences, the conversations, the things that we were exposed to, the stuff that we saw. All of these things craft our values and our beliefs. This is why you can see someone who will say, you know what? I want to be wealthy. I want to be financially free. But their belief system is that people who are rich, people who are wealthy, are not godly. Their belief system is people who are rich probably backstab other people, so they could become rich and wealthy. Just let me know in the chat if you've heard these things. Just let me know. I'm just going to give you a little example of how this chart works. If you're wealthy, then you're a bad person. If you're wealthy, you think you're better than everybody. Our friend Biggie, well, my friend back in the day, said more money, more problems. Right? Y'all let me know if you're in the chat. Just let me know if you heard that or not. Let me know if that's something that sounds familiar to you. So then when we grow up, this is the stuff that we heard when we were younger, right? This is the stuff that we were exposed to. Oh, look at them with the nice clothes and stuff. They think they better than everybody.
That was the big one for us. Thinking better than everybody. I can't.
Oh, she a manager. Oh, she run the company. She must have slept with somebody. She must have done this and done that. Oh, I know you heard it. I worked in corporate America, honey. They said that stuff all the time. A woman could not raise up in the ranks because of the fact that she earned it. It's because she slept her way there, or she did favors, or right. So you have acquired these values and these beliefs. And then when you get older, you realize having money ain't bad. I need to be able to pay my bills now. I need to, I want to be able to give to my church and help the kids and go travel overseas and do missionary work and help other people. I want to be able to do that, but I can't do that if I'm begging and don't have enough myself. So then what happens is you start trying to become wealthy, but your value system is anti-wealth. So now you're in a head-on battle with yourself. A lot of times it hasn't been that you're not capable of going to the next level. You're not smart enough. You're not beautiful enough. You're not doing the right things. No, a lot of times it's a warfare. And it's inner warfare. Your current self and your former self are at war with one another. Your values and your belief systems that have been infused in you since you were a child, since you were a kid, do not align with what you are saying right now. So even when you say, I am wealthy, money follows me, favor follows me, something in you be like, I don't know. You have all this internal resistance. You have all this resistance. Why? Because your value system, your beliefs, what you were taught since you were a kid is not in agreement with what you're saying. That's why when people are doing affirmations, affirmations can be a very tough thing for people because they feel so uncomfortable saying that they're worthy of great things. They're worthy of a loving relationship that doesn't require abuse, that doesn't require beating, that doesn't require, it's not what they saw. It's two ships in the wind passing each other. It doesn't align with what they've seen or what they understand, right? And so we are now looking to become everything that we're supposed to be and walk in purpose and walk in our calling. But guess what? The things that God has called us to do is not even remotely close to what's inside of us. And now we're at war with ourselves. Forget the devil, child, you at war with yourself. When I was in what's this thing called? Network marketing. You could see my value systems and my thought processes were holding me back. I didn't know that's what it was, but that's what it was, because I would start in a company and I would do well and I would make a lot of money and I would be excited and I would pull everybody, let's go, let's do this. And I would get people and they would be making money and I would be making money. And we out here and we were still in college. Okay. So we was out there. We was out there, but we was having a good old time, honey. We, yay! Oh, you know, we was living it up. And then the money would dry up, and the business would stop working. You see my air quotes? The business would stop working. So I go to a new business. Guess what? We up. Let's go. Oh, yes. Money flowing again. We right back at it. This things is going. Guess what happened? The money dries up. The business stopped working. What was really happening was that my values, my belief system was that feast and famine, up and down. Sometimes you have money and sometimes you don't have money. Sometimes things is going really good, and just be ready, because next thing you know, things will be going really bad. And that's how my life was, like a yo-yo, up and down, up and down, up and down. And like I said, my parents are immigrants. So I did see that. I was growing up with them. I experienced those up and downs. You know, my dad working, then he was trying to start his business. The business was doing good, but then this one, then my mom started her law business, and then so it was like all these things going on. Everything is steady and stable now, but in the beginning, I took that on. I took on those frustrations. I took on those feelings and emotions that were happening even as a young child, and I had no idea what was going on. I took that on. And it became a part of how I expressed myself and I showed up in the world. Y'all let me know in the chat if this is making sense. I'm putting 2 and 2 together now. We connected some dots today. We connected some dots today. Listen, this is what's happening. This is why the technical difficulties were occurring, because there's some freedom that's going out today. It's freedom that's going out today. The constant hard work in shifting the mindset. Let me the mindset is predominantly the values and the beliefs. And then you've been thinking you've had these values and beliefs for decades. So you've been thinking them 365, 247 for years. And now you're in a place where you're trying to grow and you're developing and you're shedding away the old. Guess what? The old don't want to go that quickly, because it's already created pathways in your brain that are very strong. It's ingrained, it's grooved up in there. Just like when you go to your favorite restaurant, you don't think about what you're going to order. You already know what you're going to order. Don't give me that menu. You already know what I'm ordering. Give me this. Make sure you put the extra spice on, the extra dry rub on it, so we got some flavor, right? You already know. You don't even have to look at the light. You just driving, you yakking on the phone, you look up and you park it in the parking lot. When did I get here? It's ingrained in your brain already. You already have neurological pathways. It's ingrained in there. So you don't have to think about it. And this is the same thing that happens to us. We've had certain thoughts and beliefs and processes that have gone on for years and years and years. And so then when you stop and you take route B instead of route A, you looking like, wait, did I miss it? Hold on. What GPS say? Okay. Right, you have to think about it. You need assistance, because it's a new pathway in your mind. So you're literally having to do the work of reprogramming your brain, renewing your mind, rewiring it from the old ways to the new ways. Because whatever values and beliefs I'm still in values and beliefs, child. Whatever values and beliefs you have, you're going to have thoughts that accompany those values. So if I seen feast and famine up and down, money is funny, it ain't never consistent, guess what? My thoughts are going to be in alignment and agreement with that. So when something comes up in my business, my thought process, this all right, here we go. This normal. I already know it's up and down. This is what it is. It's okay. I don't, you just accept it. You just accept. You don't want your money to go down in your business, but your money goes down in your business because your thought process is already connected to your values and your beliefs. Then you have certain thoughts that now trigger your feelings and your emotions. And those feelings and emotions are going to determine your decision. Y'all, I'm telling you, when it's a fight between logic and emotion go win every time. And people will sit there and say, oh, I'm so logical. I'm not an emotional person. That is a bunch of baloney. A bunch of baloney. We are emotional beings, period. And I know society likes to say, oh, women are so emotional. Y'all just be crying. Y'all just be talking. Child, if you ain't seen no man, they like to spill tea more than women do. You can tell me in the chat. Yes, they are. They get their feelings hurt so bad. You know how many clients I dealt with? Well, this, she broke my heart and I've never loved another woman since. When was that? In middle school? You still on that? I thought you were just so logical. What happened to the logical self? Men and women, we all deal with emotions. This is how God created us. Okay? This is how I was just in my feelings before I got on here. Listen, and it's all right. It's all right because and I'm going to show us later on how we process and how we work through those emotions. But I can tell you, based on whatever emotions you were feeling, before you felt that emotion, you had a thought. This stuff always happens to me. Bad stuff always happens to me. I can't ever catch a break. How come, and social media has made it really bad. How come they over there winning, she over there winning, he over here making it, and not me? How come, when am I gonna start winning? How come that don't happen for me? How come don't nobody call me? How come? And when we have those kind of thoughts, those emotions start ripping and running. And from those emotions, we make decisions. Those decisions determine the actions we take and we do not take. So anytime, even in business, right? You may feel like, oh, man, I haven't had no clients. I never had no clients. It's like people just avoiding me. Okay. And then it's you just spiraling, right? How come other people's business don't be like, listen, look at them talking about they made this much money in this month and this and that and the other, right? How come they don't ever see me for an advancement or for an increase? I know I deserve that thing. They don't never get stuff, don't never go right for me. And this is the spiral that we go into. And then guess what? We stop taking actions. We stop taking the right actions because our emotions are too in the way. They're too in the way, right? So there we go. When we recognize that we may not be able to completely control our emotions, but we can process them, we can work them, we can listen to them, because our emotions are language. Emotions are language. Just like if somebody's speaking Chinese, just like somebody's speaking English, somebody's speaking Igbo, okay? It's a language. And we've been taught IQ, but we haven't been taught EQ. And when we are taught EQ, we now have a better opportunity, and we have the opportunity to win. But we have to be able to listen to them and learn, decode the language. What about being an empath and feeling others' stress in business? Lord,
It just start raining?
Yes, we've started, honey. You in this thing. Hello. Welcome. When we begin to understand the language of emotions, we win. And no worries, no worries. We're having a good time. We're having a good time tonight. And you know your emotions, then even as an empath, even as a sensitive person, even as someone who operates the way you do, you'll be able to decipher what's yours and what is somebody else's. Even prophetically, you'll be able to decide, oh, why I feel like that. Oh, that came out of nowhere. I'm depressed. Why am I depressed? That's not you. That's not you. That's somebody else. But you got to know the language of the emotion so that you can work and make sure, okay, this is not me. This is somebody else. Let me pray. Who could this be for? Let me call somebody. You see what I'm saying? So now, you working it right. You working it to where it's not affecting you and it's not taking you out of the right action that you need to take so that you can get the results you want. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is too, and whew, let me just, I'm gonna save that. If it's meant to be, it's gonna come up. This is the emotional roller coaster. This is the emotional roller coaster and if you are striving to be great in life, can I just tell you, imposter syndrome, analysis paralysis, shiny object injury. You're going from one thing to another. You're gonna forever deal with that. You're gonna forever deal with that. And we always say, oh, I want to stop being like that. I want to stop sabotaging myself. I want to stop. Oh, I didn't even put that one on there. Oh, I want to stop sabotaging myself. I want to stop. Listen, this brain of ours is very, very powerful. It's the reason why your heart is beating. It's the reason why your eyes are working. It's the reason why everything that's going on in your brain, your subconscious is recording every single thing. That's my little squeezy. Is recording every single thing that happens in our lives, everything. And when we learn how to really work this, and one of the greatest components of it is our emotions, we will win. When your brain is already fashioned and molded since 7, right, years old, it's always going to try and protect you by throwing some of this stuff up. Analysis paralysis. It's going to always throw this stuff up at you because you are moving from the zone of comfort to discomfort. Why are you making us uncomfortable? We already know how this thing goes. We already know how stuff is supposed to happen. Why are you throwing business at us? This is so annoying. Why are you getting into a relationship with somebody that's emotionally intelligent? Now we got to grow up and now we got to handle ourselves better. We don't like this. Get rid of that joker. Go to somebody else that's more comfortable. Why I gotta put up boundaries around these people? They keep just knocking them down anyway. Let me just keep playing the role I've been playing. No, ma'am. No, sir. If you're gonna be the main character in your story, if you're gonna be the person that God has called you and ordained you to be, you got to stop running from this right here. This is normal for people who are moving forward. This is discipleship. You got to keep being willing to grow and become better and better and better and better and better. We have to make a decision and we say, you know what? I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. I'm okay with it because me being uncomfortable means that I'm reprogramming my brain. I'm stretching this thing. This thing is going to work for me the way I want it to work. Period. I'm not leaving this earth anything less than who I was born to be. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. So if I have to deal with my emotions, I got to deal with my emotions. If I have to deal with my thoughts and bringing up things captive, then I got to deal with it. Let me show you one of my clients. This is a text message. This is a text message that she sent me. And I'm going to tell you what happened. What happened was she wasn't making enough money in her business. Okay. She wasn't making enough money in her business. And she had a program that could help her clients land a $80,000 gig job, or at least gain $5,000 more in their current position. So you're talking about she had a program that could literally level up somebody's financial situation, but she had it priced at $2,000. And I was perplexed. I'm like, what, hold on. If you can get them 5,000, why is the program at 2,000? I'm confused. She was not comfortable asking for 5,000. She was taking on other people's response to her whenever she did price her products properly. So she had her own emotional stuff going on. She had their emotional stuff going on, and it just had her at 2,000. But the cost for her to have the program and have her team and have it was even more than $2,000. I said, this not right. This not, at least this needs to be at, I really said it should have been at 7, but 5 was where we had it at. So we did that. So what we did in the session was I did a role play, and I said, call me on the phone, even though we were on a video call me on the phone. I want you to call me and I'm going to be a customer. So I went in. I said, look, I think that's too much. I don't know if I could pay that. I was giving her all the objections that she was already anxious about when she put her price point at 5. And I said, well, I don't understand the value. I don't know what it's in it for me. I don't know. So I'm just giving her all the things. I'm being just at her. But that role play was exactly what she needed. That role play was what allowed her to now price it at 5,000. This is the text message that proves and showed when she put it at 5,000, they paid. Not only did they pay the 5,000, they paid it in full. She said she don't even want to spend it. She didn't think people had the money to spend on it. And she's still in disbelief. This is the text message that she sent me. Before she sent me this text message, we did a session together and we role played the entire thing. What was going on in this thing, in this situation? Emotions. It's emotions. What her business wasn't bad. The business model wasn't bad. The program wasn't bad. It wasn't none of that. It was the emotions. Will there be people who don't pay? Absolutely. Will there be people who say it's too expensive? Absolutely. But guess what? To some people, Target is too expensive. Right? So is Target going to just stop being Target? No, they're going to keep being Target. To some people, Ruth Chris is too expensive. They just going to keep being Ruth Chris. Right? For you, some people feel like you are too expensive. You want too much in a relationship. You want quality friendships. You want to be a better individual. You want to achieve and accomplish great things. You want to graduate and be the first one in your family. You want to create financial increase and freedom for your family. You want to finish up. You want to do all of these things. But what's stopping you is not the thing. What's stopping you is the emotions. Now, for those of you who don't know anime, this is anime way back in the day, Dragon Ball Z. This is Goku. And he used to get to this point where all the power would just light up in his hands, and he would release it. It would knock everything out of the way. It would knock my emotions are going right now. Yeah. He would just boom. And that's exactly what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to listen to the language of our emotions and use it for our advantage. Use it to create and facilitate the results that we want. Am I making sense? Am I going too fast? Y'all let me know in the chat, because we really about to get into this thing now. I'm adjusting myself. Let me adjust myself, because we really about to kill this thing. Okay? We're going to go from not making enough to asking for and getting the raise. From burning out your business to increasing your prices. From talking yourself into procrastination to starting the profitable business. From starting and stopping to writing and publishing the book. From that can't say no to establishing and maintaining those boundaries. Because I tell you what, if those people cannot abide by the boundaries that you have established, they got to go. Or at least they got to be put on pause. Okay. Are we seeing how emotions flow in every aspect and arena of our life? From the job to the kids to the spouse to even our husbands. I know some of my ladies were like, oh, well, I don't know if I'll be able to find a husband. I'm getting older. Am I going to be able to have kids? This, that, and the other. All of that talking, all of those those words that you're speaking out come from thoughts, and those thoughts create an emotion within you. And so when you have all this doubt and you're projecting out all this doubt, guess what? It's not going to happen. But the opposite of doubt is faith. So when you begin to speak out and you begin to think and you begin to have positive emotions around the different things that you're trying to accomplish, then you are now going to be able to, that's going to start coming to you, because whatever you focus on is what's going to come to you. So if you can focus on having a positive emotional experience around certain things, it will come. It has no choice to. It absolutely has no choice to. Okay, y'all ready? Okay, let's go. Listen, it's the opposite of doubt is faith. All right. Now I'm gonna get into the framework. This is the framework that I was able to share on the TEDx stage. That's why I put this picture. My son said he was gonna keep my little plushie for me, and he was gonna keep it safe. When I asked him for it, he said he don't know where it is. Go figure. But that's okay. I'll put the little picture up there for you. But you know, he swore, he's like, oh, I got it, Mom. I'm gonna keep it for you. I'm gonna keep it for you. You can borrow it anytime you want to. It's my plushie, and he had it in his room. You can borrow it whenever you want to. Okay, I need to borrow it. Where's that? I don't know. Great. Thank you, son. I appreciate it. But the reason why I had the plushie in the first place is because the plushie is an acronym for how you are going to be like Goku and power up, use those emotions to create the results that you want. So let's get into it. So this is how it goes. Number one, or first of all, is the letter P, and P is for pause. Remember, our thoughts create our emotions, and our emotions facilitate the actions. I love the metaphor. Yes, because a lot of times those plushies help us to feel safe and give us a landing point, a grounding station. So I said plushie, and it's going to work. You're going to see the acronym, how it connects with emotions. So you're going to pause. And we know that acting out of an emotional place usually doesn't produce the best outcome. It doesn't produce the best outcome, okay? So we have to pause. When we realize, okay, I'm feeling emotional. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling uncomfortable. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling angry. Whatever you're feeling, just hold on. Just pause and breathe. Usually a deep, powerful breath, inhaling through the nose and pushing it out through the mouth. Why? Because you need to pause so you can begin to hear and listen to the communication that your body is giving to you through your emotions. Your body is communicating. So you got to pause so that you can listen and be in tune. After you pause, the next thing is you're going to listen. What are your emotions telling you? What are they communicating to you? What do they want you to be aware of? When you're able to identify the emotion that you're feeling, you're already 10 steps ahead of the game. You're feeling angry. Is it that you're feeling angry, or are you actually feeling sadness? Is it pain that you're feeling, or is it grief? When we begin to when we listen, those emotions are telling us something. They're making us aware of the stimuli that's being given to us. And I have to tell you guys, a lot of this stuff happens really, really fast. It happens really, really fast. So you can literally, your loved one can come and say, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it to the event you invited me to. So, you got to figure yourself out. Then all of a sudden you mad. You upset and you just start going off, right? You start, look, every word under the sun, his mama, his daddy, and his dog become your number one enemy, right? Is it anger? Are you really angry? Or are you sad that you don't have support? Are you sad that you're going to have to go out there and do it yourself, right? So you have to listen to those emotions. Okay. So, and then I begin to identify that emotion that you're feeling. Now, once you listen, you have to understand where the emotion is coming from. Now, remember our chart where we were talking about the values and the beliefs? Create the thoughts, then you have the feelings and the emotions, you have the decisions, you take your action, and you get your results. Where is the emotion coming from? Sometimes the emotion is the situation, it's the circumstance, it's whatever you're feeling from somebody else. There's different stimuli. And sometimes it's you, right? But you have to be able to discern where the emotion is coming from. What is that thing? What is that emotion trying to tell you? What is the emotion? Where is it coming from? Is it actually coming from the stimuli, or is it coming from the thoughts that you have about the stimuli? Yes. Come on. Thank you. You got it. You got it. This is the situation. Is it you, or is it 16-year-old you? Is it 8-year-old you? Is it high school you? A lot of times when I'm working with my clients, I have come to find out that a lot of the things that they're doing is not what they actually want to do, but because their brain is so wired and fashioned in that way, they can't even help themselves. It's just it's a natural response, but actually it's an emotional response. I learned when I was 8 years old that I had to fend for myself. I learned that if I want something done right, I have to do it myself. Now as an adult, trying to have a business, trying to scale it, trying to make it grow and have people see it, I'm sitting here doing everything under the sun in the business, playing all the roles because I don't trust anybody, because my 8-year-old self decided that if I want something done right, I got to do it myself so I don't get in trouble. And that's how I've been operating my whole life. And that's the way my brain is fashioned. So now when somebody say, oh, you need to delegate so you can scale. Oh, no, can't nobody do it like me. I ain't delegating. Nope. I always did the group project. I'm gonna do the group project. Don't worry about it. If it's gonna get done right, I need to do it. It follows us. It follows us. And when we can really be honest with ourselves and say, okay, this may actually be coming from an old place, then we begin to understand. We begin to hear the language. We begin to realize, okay, this is something else. Now we start sorting through it. And when we actually identify the emotion and its source, you can decide if the emotion you're experiencing is going to help facilitate the action you want to take. It's amazing how we have to break down and identify if it's the child acting or if it's the adult. Absolutely. And that's the purpose of the subconscious, right? So when we learn how to ride a bike, you know how to ride a bike for forever. If you don't ride a bike for about 10 years, once you get on it, you're going to be rusty and wobbling, but that information is going to come up for you. It's going to come back up because you learned it already. You know how to drive a car. Whether you're driving a Geo Metro or you driving a BMW, that information is going to come up. It's in your subconscious. If you learn how to swim when you were young, but you haven't swam in about 15 years, you get in the water, the mechanics start coming back to you because your subconscious has stored that information for you. But also, too, it stores the negative stuff as well. If we feel like we've been abandoned, if we feel like we haven't been supported, if we feel like we've always had to carry ourselves, if we feel like we never have support, if we feel like everybody's always doing well except for us, if we feel like we're broken, we feel like something's missing, we feel all those things, our subconscious remembers that too. And when stimuli comes to us, we respond in accordance to what's in our subconscious. So we have to do the work and sort through the emotion so that you know, okay, this is not actually how I feel, but I feel this way because of this. I feel this way because this is what it seems like. This is what it looks like to me. But is it the truth? When my client was saying, oh, her business wasn't working, was it that her business wasn't working? That wasn't the truth. The truth was she felt like it wasn't working because she wasn't making enough money. But the truth was her emotions towards raising her prices, which was a must, was hindering her from taking necessary action. And once we started sorting through it, that started getting us the right action. And then she was able to start making money the way she was supposed to. Okay. Then H in plushy is cash it out. Based on the opportunity that's in front of you, what results do you want? The emotion that you're currently feeling, will it give you the results you want? Will it? If it's not, what emotion do you actually need to feel in order to take action? And don't ignore what you're experiencing, but do address it. And I can honestly say this happens a lot in relationships, right? And I'm using all these different examples just to show you how emotions are all over your life. They're all over your life, right? If your spouse, for example, is saying something that you don't like and it hurts your feelings, you being angry and ready to cuss them out from here until tomorrow, Good Friday next year, okay? Will you cussing them out and you being angry? Sorry, let me put it in order. Will you being angry and then cussing them out get you the results that you want? You have to ask yourself these questions. If the cussing them out, being angry at them to the point where you're going to cuss them out, like underneath the table, cuss them out. If it's not going to cause them to see your point or see how they can support you or see how they can love you better or see how they can step up and be who you need them to be, then we need to go ahead and choose a different emotion. Did y'all catch that? And we're not going to say, oh, I'm not angry. I'm not angry. Be angry. Hash it out. Be angry. I can't stand when you do this stuff. This stuff is very annoying to me. Like, this stuff makes me feel like you really don't love me. Hash it out. It's okay. Own that emotion. Own it. Nevertheless, as you're owning the emotion, look into the future and say, hey, is this going to get me the result I want? What's going to get me the result I want? Me calming down and communicating in a way he understands. And once I communicate, I know he's going to take the right action because he's actually a good guy. Great part about this, you helped me channel my emotions in my marriage in terms of this. Amen. Amen. This is what it is. This is how intricate emotions is. This is how intricate it is. And when we really realize, okay, I'm just feeling a certain kind of way. And we can begin to, and remember, we were talking about EQ when we first got started. This is a part of EQ, being able to feel how you're feeling, but ensure that that feeling is honored while yet still taking the right emotion that you need to create the result you want. That's that Goku right there. That's that power mode. After this, you can look up Dragon Ball Z Goku so you can see what I'm talking about. Powerball. Put in Powerball and you'll see what I'm saying. That Powerball would clear the road, like clear the way. Every enemy had to go. Every enemy had to bow. Anything contrary, he's that's it. All the smoke, all the wind. Ooh, wow. That's how it goes. I'm telling you. That is how it goes. And initially, when you're doing this, if you've never done it before, you're going to be like, ah, right? Because it feels like a lot. But in actuality, all you're doing is properly processing your emotions. All you're doing is properly channeling the language of your emotions so that you get the result that you deserve to have. And when you say to yourself, you know what? The results I want is bigger than any emotion I can possibly feel. Let me plushie this thing out. Let me plushie this thing through. And you do it a few times. You do it a few times. Guess what? You're going to create a pathway in your brain for plushie. And it's going to become stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And it'll be embedded in you. It'll be embedded. That's that EQ. So now you know how to work yourself out. Then you know how to work out other people. And it's not in a manipulative way. I'm not here for manipulation and be saying stuff to people just so you can get your way. No. But when you understand how emotions are and how emotions flare up and how they express themselves, you're gonna kill it. This is the last part. Why in plushie is say yes. Say yes. Say yes to the action. Say yes to the next step. Say yes to the next place. Say yes to the next move. Say yes to the next level. Say yes to the communication. Say yes to honoring yourself. Say yes to developing yourself. Say yes. Right? We're not going to feel an emotion and then freeze up. Oh, I don't know what to do, so I'm not doing anything. I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to abandon the business. I'm just going to abandon the project. I'm just going to check out at the job. I'm here, but I'm not here. No. We're going to say yes. We're going to take action. And we're going to take an action that's going to get us the results that we want. Yes. We're going to say yes to maintaining those boundaries. We're going to say yes to training ourselves to say, you know what? I'm focused on what I'm focused on right now. I'm going to take that opportunity and I'm going to do something with it. Right? This is so let me know in the chat, because this is literally the simplest way to break down the emotion and convert those emotions into power. This is the simplest way for you to do it. The absolute simplest way. Come on, stop saying yes. Come on, say yes to that increase. Say yes to that next level. This is amazing. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. This is what it's about. This is the secret, you guys. This is literally the secret. And people, it's when we talk about emotions, if I would have called this or titled this webinar something else, I'm sure I would have gotten a whole bunch of more people to sign up. I would have gotten more people to, ask me for it and what's this and how much and what do I got to do and this, that, and the other. But I just have come to a place in life where I'm like, look, I'm not going to play these games with y'all. I'm giving you the blueprint to success. I'm telling you what other people will not tell you. I'm telling you what I had to pay thousands of dollars for, sit with mentors, read book after book after book, fall off flat on my face in business to learn. I'm giving it out because the more we learn this, the more we can really develop our EQ. The sky is the limit. There's so much freedom on the other side. So much freedom. Okay. So we're wrapping up and we're closing out. But here's the thing. I want to show you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. We had a lot of technical difficulties, and I'm telling you, I had to literally practice what I preach. Let me just say that. Okay. I had to practice what I preached on this here day with those technical difficulties and wanting everyone that has signed up. Because I literally put this webinar out like a week before and had like over 100 people sign up. That's amazing. And I was like, awesome. This is going to be great. This is going to be like this. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, God, you're going to open up their heart. You're going to open up their spirit. They're going to catch it. You've increased their capacity. I'm talking about, I'm praying. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm speaking those things. I'm speaking those things. I'm speaking those things. Only to locked out of Zoom. Okay, cool. Let me go in this one. And who was here? Brittany was here. Toya was here. We were just working and figuring it out. I had to literally practice what I preach. Literally. But it's okay. It really is okay. Look here. Look, it's still going to happen. They will catch that replay. And you know what? I may end up doing it again. It's going to be a lot smoother and cleaner and more whatever. I may end up doing it again live. But yeah, this is raw, authentic. Like, this is the type of stuff that happens when you are moving to the next level. And for me, the way I've cultivated my mind, I'm like, okay, so you're going to sit here, like, all this crazy stuff is going to happen, right? All this stuff is going to happen before this info goes out. That just means it's good. That just means something is happening. I may not know, I may not be aware, but something powerful is happening. There's been an elevation. There has been a next level unlocked. Okay. I'm good. I am so good. I'll go toast to myself tonight. Honey, it is what it is. Look. Okay. Thank you for being here. This is Power Pack. Thank you. Thank you for being